I'm doing this work to facilitate growth or to become famous? Which is more important, getting or letting go?
What's going on, people? Welcome to first episode here. This new format I'm gonna be doing. I want to I know we don't always have time to read, so I want to make that a little bit easier for y'all. So today we got The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. I'm gonna start on page 70. That's about where I'm at in the book right now. Y'all let me know if you'd rather me go chapter by chapter, or you want me to just pick a little spot out and we just, pick a passage out and read that, or, whatever y'all want to do, let me know. Had to get my foot basing right quick. Been working a lot of hours this week, getting ready for some things. So you always gotta make time to take care of yourself, though. So let's see here. We're gonna start on page 70. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read a little bit of this. I'm gonna give you a little story in here, and I'm gonna try to give you a personal experience that I've had that is in relation to what we read, and we're gonna go from there. Let's see. All right. Second sentence down. A stranger from another country arose. I am Assyrian. Not so well do I speak your tongue. I wish to call this friend, the merchant, a name. Maybe you think it not polite, this name. Yet I wish to call him that. But alas, I not know your word for it. If I do call it in Syrian, you will not understand. Therefore, please, some good gentlemen, tell me that right name you call man, who puts off doing those things that mighty good for him. Procrastinator, called a voice. That's him, shouted the Syrian, waving his hands excitedly. He accepts not opportunity when she comes. He waits. He says, I have much business right now. By and by, I talk to you. Opportunity, she will not wait for such slow fellow. She thinks if a man desires to be lucky, he will step quick. Any man who not step quick when opportunity comes, he big procrastinator, like our friend, this merchant. The merchant arose and bowed good-naturedly in response to their laughter. My admiration to thee, stranger within our gates, who hesitates not to speak the truth. And now let us hear another tale of opportunity. Who has for us such another experience? Demanded Arcad. I have, responded a red-robed man of middle age. I am a buyer of animals, mostly camels and horses. Sometimes I do also buy the sheep and goats. The tale I am about to relate will tell truthfully how opportunity came one night when I did least expect it. Perhaps for this reason I did let it escape. Of this you shall be the judge. I check the time. I'm not trying to run past 15 minutes. I won't bore y'all. But again, once we're done, let me know if the length is good, if it's too long, too short. We'll work it out. Of this you shall be the judge. Returning to the city one evening after a disheartening 10 days' journey in search of camels, I was much angered to find the gates of the city closed and locked. While my slaves spread our tent out for the night, which we looked to spend with little food and no water, I was approached by an elderly farmer who, like ourselves, found himself locked outside. Honored sir, he addressed me, from thy appearance, I do judge thee to be a buyer. If this be so, much would I like to sell to thee most excellent flock of sheep I have just driven up. Alas, my good wife lies very sick with the fever. I must return with all haste. Buy thou my sheep, that I and my slaves may mount our camels and travel back without delay. So dark it was that I could not see his flock, but from the bleating I did know it must be large. Bleating is like, the sound that sheep make. Bah, that's a bleat. Having wasted 10 days searching for camels I could not find, I was glad to bargain with him. In his anxiety, he did set a most reasonable price. I accepted, well knowing my slaves could drive the flock through the city gates in the morning and sell at a substantial profit. The bargaining concluded. I called my slaves to bring torches that we might count the flock with the farmer declared to contain 900. I shall not burden you, my friends, with a description of our difficulty in attempting to count so many thirsty, restless milling sheep. It proved to be an impossible task. Therefore, I bluntly informed the farmer I would count them at daylight and pay him then. Please, most honorable sir, he pleaded, pay me but 2/3 of the price tonight, that I may be on my way. I will leave my most intelligent and educated slave to assist and make the count in the morning. He is trustworthy, and to him thou canst pay the balance. But I was stubborn and refused to make payment that night. Next morning, before I awoke, the city gates opened, and 4 buyers rushed out in search of flocks. They were most eager and willing to pay high prices because the city was threatened with siege and food was not plentiful. Nearly 3 times the price at which he had offered the flock to me did the farmer receive for it. Thus was rare good luck allowed to escape. Here is not a tale most unusual, commented Arkad. What wisdom doeth it suggest? The wisdom of making a payment immediately when we are convinced our bargain is wise, suggested a venerable saddle maker. If the bargain be good, then doest thou need protection against thy own weaknesses as much against any other man? We mortals are changeable. Alas, I must say more apt to change our minds when right than wrong. Wrong, we are stubborn indeed. When right, we are prone to vacillate and let the opportunity escape. My first judgment is my best, yet always have I found it difficult to compel myself to proceed with a good bargain when made. Therefore, as a protection against my own weaknesses, I do make a prompt deposit thereon. This doeth save me from later regrets for the good luck that should have been mine. And there's like maybe 2 sentences left on that page, but I'm not going to go into that right now. The story essentially is what I wanted us to get, right? So let's see. What you have here is, I know the guys got broken English. It might have sounded a little strange. So let's go over, what we just read, right? Basically, the guy was saying, look, I've been looking for camels for days and weeks, me and my slaves, and we've not found anything suitable. You know what I mean? Then he comes upon a farmer. The farmer's like, look, I got, a flock of 900 sheep. I'll sell them to you for, X amount of dollars, right? And he tells the guy what they both feel and know is a very reasonable price, is what he said. Meaning it was a really good price, right? So the farmer's basically like, look, the guy's like, listen, it's dark out here, the sheep are hungry, you know what I mean? They're out here, they're restless. It's not going to be easy for us to count 900 sheep in the dark while with those given circumstances, you know what I'm saying? So what happens is, at that point, the guy's like, I bluntly, meaning like, that's the end of that, you feel me? Like how Pop Smoke said, I need your number and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the end of the story. And he said, look, I'll pay you in the morning. The farmer's like, sir, please, just give me 2/3 of the money so I can be on my way. I'll leave my most trusted and intelligent, I don't know if he said slave or worker, whatever. I'll leave my most intelligent and trustworthy worker with you, whatever the case may be. And you can pay him the balance in the morning, the remaining 1/3, and he'll count the sheep with you. You know what I mean? And the guy's basically like, no, that's not the way we're going to do this, right? So, the guy leaves and goes to his tent with the intention to buy the sheep in the morning. And in the morning, overnight, I guess, there had been some type of siege on the city where the farmer's from, or the closest city. So a lot of people came out of the city, right? And they're looking for sheep because there's, not much food, and there's the threat of a siege, which is like a war, like something's about to go down, right? So they're trying to get ready. And because they're so anxious to get what they got to get, they pay this farmer literally 3 times, triple the amount, you know what I'm saying, that the farmer offered to the guy, to the merchant in the beginning or the night before, right? So let's say that he offered him a flock of sheep for $1,000, right? He ended up selling them for $3,000 to other people, and the guy got nothing. You feel me? So essentially, what's that telling you, right? That's saying when you have a good opportunity and you know it's a good opportunity, or you feel strongly it's a good opportunity, you waiting can cost you. And I'll tell you what, we doing pretty good on time. I think we have about 9-10 minutes or so. So I'll give you 2 examples, personal examples I have, situations where that's happened, right? Maybe I want to say like 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, sometime in the last 6 months, right? I've been working on my credit for about a year now, as a result of some courses I bought and things like that, Jay Morrison course and, Will Roundtree, things like that. Got my credit from about a 480 to, I think I'm now like a 615, like 11, 12 months later. That's by myself. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool. Then I come across a guy that was introduced to me by a mentor. I have Dave Anderson, somebody that, I trust. He puts me on to him. So I'm like, we talk about the credit repair service. In my mind, I'm just like somewhat being arrogant. Like, well, I mean, I should use it, but I kind of don't think I need it. I rose my credit score over 120 points by myself. So, he's like, it's $199 up front, and I believe $99 for subsequent months after, right? And I'm like, all right, I'll let you know. I'll probably do it this week. I'll hit you on Friday. Didn't hit him on Friday. It's now several Fridays since then, right? And when I messaged him a few days ago, he was like, yeah, it's just $199 up front, and then it's gonna be $125 a month. I was like, all right, huh? Oh, the price went up. I mean, it's only $25, whatever you want to call it. It went from $99 to $125. So realistically, that's a little over 25%, right? And I still did it because it's important to me. I'm chasing that 800 right now. So I did it, and as a result, it cost me. Second example, right? Today I'm at work on my lunch, or one of my 15-minute breaks. My first break of the day is around 9:30 or so. I'm looking at my Robinhood app, which is where I primarily invest. That's my primary stockbroker. And there's a stock on there that's doing pretty well, one of my personal stocks. Well, yeah, all right, I get off. Hop on Facebook, right? Look on there. There's a guy in this Robinhood group. He posted 2 stocks, Rocket Mortgages and Kodak. He's like, look at these. They're up really high for today, and there's no media like news. It just happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like reason why it happened, basically, or no reason publicly. The stock was up 61%, right? So I go immediately on my Robinhood app. I look at the stock. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, it's at 61% for a day. That's a major spike. There's going to be some pullback in my mind. If not today, at least by next week. Maybe I should short this thing. You feel me? Put a put on it, right? When you short a stock, that's basically me saying that, all right, the stock's at $10. I think it's going to be at $8 in a day or in a month or a week, whatever the case may be. And if it drops to that 8, you can sell it for the difference because you got it locked in at a certain price, like it's, at a higher price. So you get, you can sell to somebody who got it at a worse price, whatever. You make money, right? That's how you short a stock for more or less. So I'm like, all right, let me do it. So I go on there, I press the button to short it, and I'm looking at it, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a short for $8. If it went up by $7 today, I bet you it'll drop by at least $2 within a week. So the price pops up. It's $85. Mind you, I got 78 on my account. Mind you, I got 90 on my account. So I know for a fact that I got enough to cover this, right? So I'll swipe up. And then this screen comes up. If you know anything about Robinhood, it says you don't have enough purchasing power to do this, whatever. You got to make a deposit of, like, it said like $15, $20 or some shit. I'm like, what? So I back out and I look. And the stock said it had literally dropped from $12 in seconds. It was at $9.75, right? So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I just missed something major, right? So okay, cool. Keep it moving. Try to get back in it. Now it's at 180. I'm like, and I let it go because it had dropped so much. I was like, at this point, it's cool. I'll let it rock. And yeah. So that's what happens. I saw it at 80. I was like, okay, that's a pretty good deal. I was like, but I saw it at 85. I was like, wait, why is it? Missed my chance that quick, literally in seconds, right? And so it's like, when you got a good deal, somebody tells you, you can get this for $20 when it's normally $40, so that's a good deal, and you're like, can you do 15, nickel and diming them? And then you're like, I'll call you back tomorrow. Call them tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, I sold it yesterday. Out of curiosity, how much did you sell it for, right? I sold it for 30. Procrastination. You feel me? Like, is that procrastination? Like, I guess so, right? If you're putting something off and it's a good deal, at that point, it really kind of comes down to financial IQ, right? Because somebody tells you, hey, listen, you give me $20, I'll give you a $100 bill right now. You're not really going to think about it. You feel me? If you know the $100 bill is real, like, why would you think about it, right? So now you might tell them, I'll think about it, and now they done it with somebody else. That was like, you feel me? You sleep, you get slept on. You feel me? You gonna learn it till you earn it. And that's that. And that pretty much concludes today's episode. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Tomorrow we're gonna do a couple more pages, have another experience for y'all, life experience, a little breakdown. I love all y'all. Have a good day. Thank you for listening. For y'all on YouTube and the other platforms, thank y'all for watching. Yeah, I got y'all.